Hey out there, it's Wake Angel 2001, and a couple days ago they finally dropped a proper trailer that's not just a 10-second teaser for the upcoming Sonic Prime cartoon. And there's already been a bit of controversy and accolades about it, so let's get into my opinions. First of all, I'm really happy that we finally have an actual release date, December 15th, so alright, we got something to look forward to, an actual tangible date. And now we can actually get into the meat of this new trailer itself. So let's start off with something that I always love to see, a picture of the tornado. The color scheme on here is reminding me of what it looked like in Sonic Unleashed. It is, of course, stylized, though. And I like it. I also like seeing Knuckles kind of holding on to it for dear life. Back when I was a kid and I had bunk beds still, whenever we would put Max, my dog, on the top bunk, he would look exactly like that. He just looks like an animal who's afraid of heights, clinging to a surface that's high up. It's adorable. And you can see a little spot in the back, in between the two wings, right next to the tails. You see Rouge the Bat is flying behind them. So apparently Rouge can actually keep up with the tornado in flight. That's interesting to know. I was like, there was a big cannon on top of the wing. Like, this can only happen because the biplane is made out of metal. On an actual World War One era biplane, which was made out of canvas and wood, cannon being mounted there would have absolutely torn the top wing off with its recoil. Um, then we start the conflict. We enter this cave with all these with all this cool prismatic effects. It's really cool and interesting, and we get to see the MacGuffin. The prismatic crystal. It's all chaotic and doing cool kinds of things. Like, we got another reality warping gem that's not a Chaos Emerald. It's not the Phantom Ruby and it's not the Warp Topaz, but it's functionally those things. And then we finally got our first good look at the team. Now, the last cartoon they gave was Sonic Boom, which kind of gave everybody new redesigns. But this one feels a lot more like we're just making we're taking the actual proper video game designs that we've all been familiar with ever since the Sonic Adventure era, and we're just stylizing them slightly so that they play better for TV animation. You know what I mean? Like, they say that there's no animation without exaggeration, so obviously they've made the models a little bit looser, giving them a little bit more expression in the face, so that as you animate them, they'll be able to put on more natural expressions, so that it won't look like we're just watching a bunch of video game cutscenes, but also, working with a budget that's significantly less than a Hollywood movie. Like, anyone who's watched a CGI cartoon from in the past 20 years probably knows what I'm getting at. This is like what they did for Transformers Prime, or like the previous Sonic Boom cartoon. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I like how the team seems to be all set up here. You have Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Amy Rose, and Rouge the Bat. And I'm actually really happy to see Rouge the Bat is like part of the team. That probably means she's gonna be like a mainstay who'll be in mostly or all the episodes. Cause like the last time Rouge was in a cartoon was in Sonic X, and she really didn't rise higher than the level of occasional cameo. She wasn't really in that many episodes, so it's good to have her as a proper main character. And our first look at Dr. Eggman is revealing pretty darn good Eggman. And I like how he has G1 badniks. Like that's Buzz Bomber and Burrowbot from like the original Sonic game. So, it's really cool to see like the legacies. Although, if you look at Burrowbot, that's Burrowbot didn't have drill hands. Burrowbot had a drill nose and it had claw hands. It was a Grounder from Sonic 2 that had drill hands and a drill nose. So this is kind of like a combination, a portmanteau of Grounder and Burrowbot. Like maybe Dr. Robotnik or Dr. Eggman, sorry, talking about G1 Sonic gets me in the mood to say Robotnik. he like took the best elements of both Badniks and combined them. In fact, now that I look at it, the arms that have the drills are even red. Grounder was a red robot, and Burrowbot is blue. So like, yeah, like this is a Burrowbot with Grounder arms. Oh, and I know some people are going to correct me. The green, the green Grounder from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was unique to that cartoon. That's the character Grounder from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The General Badnik Grounder from the video game was red. Look it up. Moving on, I just wanted to include this screen cap because, oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm using screen caps, it's because I do not have good video editing software. I'm not good at that. And also, this way, I don't get a channel strike. Nobody will accuse me of stealing footage because, you know, these are just still frames. But this would make a great poster. I kind of want to mount this on my wall. Look, I mean, look at the giant Caterkillers, the army, the heroes charging in. And like Badniks aren't typically very big, but here their menace looks significantly greater. Like even the Burrowbots that shouldn't be that big are like Burrow Grounder bots. They shouldn't be that big, but they look like they're, you know, like a human height. Like when you look at Sonic, who we know is about 3.5 feet tall, if he was standing next to this Burrowbot and it wasn't leaned slightly forward, there would probably be a significant height difference. The Burrowbots are probably more than 5 feet tall. And those Caterkillers just look gigantic. They kind of look like the boss Caterkiller from Sonic Mania. And even the Buzz Bombers, like their little jets have points on the front. It makes them look faster and more menacing. So yeah, like this is just a great little shot showing everybody just charging in the battle. Now, what follows is a nice little smash and grab, but I do love this scene because look at his mech. That basically looks like a shrunk down version of the Egg Dragoon. The Egg Dragoon is a really awesome looking mech, if make no mistake. But like he shrunk it down to like it looks outright menacing. I'm reminded of the opening cutscene for Sonic Unleashed, where Dr. Eggman was using this big old mech to try and fight Sonic on the hull of one of his Egg Fleet ships. It looks like he took that idea for a mech suit, but made it the Egg Dragoon. Like, so it's kind of like two cool things put together. Huh, kind of like the Burrowbot Grounder thing. Then we get the explosion. Because of course there's some kind of prismatic explosion. Like, Dr. Eggman has never found an ancient mystical artifact that he doesn't screw up. Although, like, they show, like, Sonic is getting pulled into some kind of vortex, but as we can see, everybody seems to be affected by it. So, like, this isn't just something that Sonic is going to go through. This is, like, the whole cast is part of this. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Then we get this scene of Sonic flying through what looks like a stylized version of Void Space, but instead of the red cubic objects from the Phantom Ruby, we're getting like these crystal shards, because, you know, this is the prism that broke up into more organic quartz-looking crystals. And I'm going to be switching back and forth between these two pictures every few seconds. Like, we get to see the parallel world. Now, I'm wondering, what is this parallel world? Is this like Sonic CD, where we have the bad future, where the Eggman Empire has taken over? Like, you can actually see, like, at the base of that loop-de-loop, you have a little Eggman face. Or are we actually, like, doing a parallel worlds thing? Like, is this crossing dimensions, Rick and Morty style? Or is this going back and forth in time, Sonic CD style? I'm not sure. Like, the trailer, like, spoiler alert, this trailer doesn't really sort that out very well. It could go either way. Although, this is where I'll point out the title of the series, Sonic Prime, is really reminding me of the Archie comic. Sonic the Zone Cop, who was in charge of making sure the multiverse was kept safe, called the Archie version of Sonic Sonic Prime, the one true Sonic in all the multiverse. So we could be looking at a situation here where we have Sonic hopping from dimension to dimension, perhaps some dimensions where he doesn't exist or other dimensions where he's evil. Like, we don't know. So, like, I'm wondering, is this time travel? Is this dimensional travel? What is this? I'm very excited to find that part out. And then we get to a look at the alternate versions of Sonic's friends. We got like a crazy cyborg Amy, some cyberpunk Tails, Rouge the Bat wearing some really cool Resistance getup. Like, she looks straight out of some Resistance cell from World War II. She looks like she's gonna get ready to punch some Nazis after this. It looks awesome. And of course, we got Knuckles with a charming scar on his forehead and metal enhancements on his knuckles, including a third spike. Hey, Andrew Rankin, if you're watching this, Andrew Strappers, do you remember that time you tried to make the Sonic characters into Marvel superheroes, and you made Knuckles into Wolverine, and one of the things you did was give him a third claw in the middle of his two main claws? I remember that, and this is reminding me of it. This a thing from like my first couple of years as a customizer. And then we get this shot. Is this a council of Eggmen? Let's see, there's like 5 Eggmen here. Like, you can see in their silhouette they have the distinct glasses look with the and they all have various mustaches. One of them looks like he's very hunched over, almost like he's looking at his feet. One has square rimmed frames and is sitting casually with his legs crossed. And like has Eggman hooked up with versions of himself from other universes? Well, I guess this kind of means that we can't be in line with Sonic Boom, because in Sonic Boom, if you met yourself from another universe, then it would cause the dimensional fabrics to break down, and the two of you would die, and then your home universe would get torn apart. That was kind of the climax of the final episode, was when Shadow kidnapped an Eggman from another universe and hid him in a cave tied up with our own universe's Eggman, so that eventually the universe would collapse. Then again, now that I say that out loud, I kind of do want to see this crossover with Sonic Boom. I mean, Sonic Boom can work. I mean, they're both CGI cartoons. They have a somewhat similar style. And this is on Netflix. I'm reminded of another Netflix show called Paradise PD. It was an adult animated cartoon, and one of its episodes was a crossover episode with Brickleberry, a Comedy Central cartoon that had been made by the same animation studio. So, like, they did a crossover with a cartoon that was on another network after it had been canceled. So, like, they could do that with this. Like, Sonic Boom could have, like, we can have an episode, we get Sonic Boom back. Like, I would love to see Styx again one more time, reacting to the modern Sonic cast. That would be fun. And then I included this lineup shot because it's the cliche where you have all your heroes walking in line, and it shows off Tails' legs. It looks like he has some kind of spider mech thing going on where he's giving himself some extra legs. I heard someone say that Tails is Doc Ock. And yeah, I can kind of see that. Although they don't look like octopus legs. They look like crab or spider legs. Kind of makes me think of him as an arachne. Like, arachne Tails. And, like, Amy, like, she looks like she has barely any organic parts left. Her quills are metal, her limbs are metal, her body's metal. And I'm wondering if she's naturally that tall, or if she has, like, extendo limbs, like what Bunny Rabbit had on the Saturday morning cartoon. Like, what happened to poor Amy that she got so cyberized? It's like all she has left is half of her face. Of course, Rouge didn't have any of her parts cut off. She's just wearing a new outfit. And I really do like Rouge's outfit. I think I like it more than the default outfit she wears in the beginning. And I kind of want an action figure of that. I'm probably gonna have to make one eventually. I'm probably gonna have to eventually make Rouge wearing both of these costumes eventually. And of course, there's another shot. Like, I decided to include this shot because I'm looking at Tails, and it looks like his little mechanical limbs got broken. So this is obviously after some kind of fight, and everybody's been through something. But look at that face. Like, even though his tech got smashed in this fight, Tails is not even thinking about retreating. Like, we are getting a complete 180 from the simpering coward version of Tails that we got in Sonic Forces. Like we got a Tails who's actually ready to fight. Although, like, he also kind of looks. I don't know if it's just because he's in the background and Amy is standing next to him with her weirdly super long legs, but he looks even younger than he usually does. Like his proportions make him look like he's almost Cream's age. If that makes any sense. Um, and yeah, then we get like this big fight where again it looks like they're fighting the Council of Eggmen. Like these look like all those Eggmen that were sitting in those chairs. Now they each have their own personalized mechs, and I'm guessing like we'll get to see their personalities reflected in the way these mechs move and fight. And that's basically the trailer. I think it's a pretty good trailer. I think that we're only looking at maybe like just the opening episode in this trailer. I do not think we're seeing the entire season arc for the show. Mostly because like what we saw like in the first teaser trailer was just a brief fight against Shadow in what looked like modern Green Hill. So like, we're clearly like none of that Shadow stuff is in here. So that's clearly a completely other plot line from this. So I'm guessing like this teaser trailer is just showing us what the opening episode is going to be like the pilot episode, and then there's going to be other stuff, which is what makes me think like, are we going to do universe hopping? Like, will Sonic go to another universe and then have an adventure in his own world, and then have like maybe travel through time? Like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure like this is just one episode, and we're going to see a whole bunch of different adventures. I wonder if the Council of Eggmen will stay together as one unit, or if we're gonna like face different Eggmen in different move continuities, kind of like in Sonic Rush when we had to face Eggman Nega, a different version of Dr. Eggman, or or are we gonna? Is it gonna be like some of these Eggmen will act like the Robotnik from the Adventures cartoon, or the Robotnik from the Sat I Am cartoon, or maybe the Eggman from Sonic Boom. Like will their personalities be reflected? Like, are we getting different? Are all these Eggmen going to be like Rick's, where they all basically sound the same but they have some different traits, or are we like going to get some legitimately different Eggmen here? Like, I'm really curious. I'm super hyped and looking forward to it. But now I have to address the elephant in the room, because Rouge the Bat here is the one that got the significant redesign. Yeah, like remember Sonic Boom when we had the new character designs? Like Amy and Tails were just wearing new clothes. They look almost exactly the same. Sonic had slightly shaggier spines and his arms were blue, but again, he mostly looked alike. But Knuckles had a really huge character design change. They made him taller, they made him broad-shouldered like Storm the Albatross. He wasn't wearing his mittens, so he had fingered hands. Knuckles looked really different in Sonic Boom. And it looks like Rouge is the one that has the biggest change here. Like, her head looks a little bit wider and not as tall, but that's just a minor thing, like again with the stylization. But her outfit's completely different. I like this outfit. It looks like a combination of her Secret Agent Rouge costume from Sonic Forces Speed Battle and the Hero's costume. Like, they took elements of both of those costumes and combined them together into this, and I'm kind of for it. I do like this costume, and I tried to get a screen cap of her in action, but they had some kind of motion blurring effect, so this is the best I was able to get. But you can see that the heart motif is preserved. This time it's on the sole of her shoe instead of the toe of it. That's kind of cool. I like how they still managed to preserve her heart motif on her shoe, even if it's in a completely different place. And it seems that this is a very divisive thing. There seems to be three camps. There's people there's people that love this costume design and are making fan art of it already. And then there's the people who are again forgetting that it sort of has like a Lola Bunny effect, where you have some people that when they saw the new Space Jam movie and they said that her looks got nerfed. And as references, they would often call up old fan art, which they had forgotten is not technically official. But it's kinda in the middle because yes, let's get this out of the way. Yes, Rouge does have smaller boobs than we're used to seeing. Um, no, I don't think that this is all Netflix is doing. If you've played any of the more recent games, you know that Sega has been trying to nerf Rouge's assets for years now. So don't blame the makers of this show specifically. I'm not sure how seriously I should take them, but there are people who are saying that they boycott this show solely based on Rouge's apparent cup size. And of course, because it's Sonic and the internet, there's a bunch of people drawing fan art of Rouge bursting out of that thing because of course it's going to happen. But yeah, Rouge clearly has the biggest character design change in the ways of her looks, and I'm just happy to see that she is, going to be here. Like, it's great to see any of the main characters actually be prominent again because the video games have been pushing them to the background so much. I mean, none of them were even playable in Sonic Forces except for Shadow. So, I'm really happy to see, Rouge, who, even when she was prominent in the cartoons, like, in the Sonic X era, it was still only as an occasional character that would come up every now and then. Like, now, I'm really looking forward to seeing her as, like, a main cast member. Maybe this show will start to bring about, like, more playable characters in the games again, like Sonic Heroes. Fight me, but I liked Sonic Heroes. I genuinely do like that game, and I think it's good, and I kind of wish that we would have more games like that. But you know what? Right now, I'll just be going off on a tangent. So, suffice to say, I think the new Rouge costume looks fine. Rouge's new look is good, and I want to see what your opinions are in the comments. Do you really hate the fact that they've nerfed her booba a little bit, or do you like the new design for her, or what do you say, guys? This is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.